So ladies and gentlemen, it is finally time to tune my BMW M140i to stage 2 plus. So this video has been delayed for absolutely weeks because of my OBD port. So for all the new people around here, basically what had happened is the female pin inside had sort of crushed on itself and it stopped me from being able to put like an OBD cable in. So that was very annoying and it took weeks to get fixed, but now that is sorted so we can finally get on with the video, and I'm absolutely buzzing to get this thing tuned. And when I say buzzing to get this thing tuned, I've kind of already had it tuned for a little while because I wanted to get the map on as soon as possible. For one, to make sure everything is all smooth, and for two, to make sure I sort of know the app and how to do it, because I didn't want to make a video and not be like clued up on it whilst I'm making the video, because I don't want to teach you like the wrong thing as such. So I do have a brief idea of how to use the application stuff and what to do and like the safety precautions and stuff like that, so we'll run through that in a moment. But for now, I have actually flashed it back to stock so we can reflash it together. Let's run over the modifications we've done prior to getting it mapped. So first off, we're going to talk about the exhaust. So I've got a double resonator delete in here, and I've also got a high flow downpipe in here, and that is it. So it's literally straight from the turbo straight to the back box. And a lot of people always ask, does it drone? It literally doesn't drone. Like if you just be gentle on the throttle, it doesn't drone. At like 70 mile an hour on a motorway, it does not drone at all. So yeah, a lot of people ask me that. So underneath the bonnet, the mods we have done are an ITG panel filter, the B58 TU fuel pump, the B58 spark plugs, Masata's intake pipe, which gets rid of the resonators, and also the charge pipe. And we've also done the N-Force air scoop in there, which directs the airflow straight into the airbox, along with the BMW hot climate mod, like the genuine hot climate mod. Now bear in mind, for stage 2 plus, these aren't all compulsory. You don't need like the intake pipe, you don't need the charge pipe, you don't need the air scoop, you don't need the hot climate mod. For stage 2 plus, all you need is an air filter, a downpipe, spark plugs, and a high pressure fuel pump. I've only got these small bits just to help a little bit, and also when I go for a custom tune down the line, these bits might help at that point, but for now it just helps with more airflow and maybe a little bit of reliability as well. But you're mainly going to see the benefits of all these on a custom tune. So this video has been kindly sponsored by Cloudburst. Now don't skip, because these are honestly some really cool fragrances to make your pride and joy smell amazing. So they're all inspired by popular fragrances on the market, including Million, Sauvage, Creed, Tom Ford Ombre Leather, Kenzo Flowers, and Armani Code. So I've used Cloudburst for probably over a year now, and I absolutely love it. You can use them in your office, your home, your clothes, shoes, but mainly, you can imagine, I use them for my car. You don't need to spray much. These odor eliminators last really long, and just a couple of squirts will fill an entire room. Now if you add 3 to your basket, that will then turn into a bundle deal, which will give you a discount, but if you also use code BB10 as well, you can get an extra 10% off that. But if you just want to try one for now, use code BB10 at checkout for 10% off. Once again, thank you to Cloudburst for sponsoring today's video. So by now you're probably thinking, how are we going to tune the car? Now we're going to be using the app called MG Flasher. Now this app allows me to tune my car literally anywhere I go on my phone. Now I know there's like MHD out there, there's Bootmod 3 and other various sort of off-the-shelf map companies, but I just decided to go with MG Flasher because I know a few people with MG Flasher, they've had no issues, and I know MG Flasher does seem to get like the most power on the dyno, so I thought, you know what, let's use them. You could do like the switchable maps, you could do the anti-lag, you can do so many cool things. You can do like flame maps and all sorts of stuff purely from your phone, and you could just map it literally within seconds. So yeah, we're going to be using an off-the-shelf stage 2.5 map today. Maybe down the line, as I said just a minute ago, we might get a custom tune somewhere. So to map the car, you're going to need a few things. One of them is a iPhone or whatever phone you have to Ethernet cable, also an Ethernet to OBD cable. You also want to go ahead and make sure your seatbelt is on, and also make sure your phone is got enough charge in it. So I'm going to go ahead and plug the OBD port in, like that. That is now plugged in. I'm going to plug my phone in, and then we're going to switch on the ignition. The reason why you got to keep your seatbelt on is so the ignition doesn't turn off. But it does tell you this all on the app. So we're going to open up the MG Flasher, and it's going to sync the user data. Now inside the car, make sure all of your like components are off. So make sure your AC is off, make sure like your stereo is off and stuff like that. just for the least interference as possible. So here it says it's connected, so we're going to click on open car, and as you can see here it says Brett's M140i, it says your VIN number, the engine, the status. When you first get the app, you've got like activate your ECU with this app, so you got to do that first. I sort of got a bit stuck on that, so make sure you activate your ECU first. And then it says calibration stock, so hopefully by the end of this video it should say stage 2.5. So anyway, let's click on open car. Now in order to map your car, you need the flasher license and then a map that you want. Or you can get a flasher license and a whole sort of map pack, which comes with stage 1, 2 and 2.5. So we're going to click on here on view on stage 2.5. And here it just says the power, what the sort of power increase is, and it says it can be up to 500 horsepower. Now realistically on a stage 2 plus map, you're going to get anywhere between like 460 and 480 depending on your sort of car. Down here it says the supported fuels, and yeah, if you want to have a read of that one. Down here it says sort of the features and stuff it has. So yeah, you can get rid of the cold start, which is what we'll do. We're just going to have sort of like a raw startup, so it makes a sort of like a slight noise, but it's not too loud. You can do like exhaust burble, change the torque limit, adjustable maps, you said, as I said earlier on, catalytic converter delete. So if you've got a decat or whatever, you can remove the warning light off your dash, exhaust flap control and all those sort of things. So we're going to click continue. We're going to click on the newest one at the top and click continue. Now here you're going to want to head and click on your fuels. Now for us, I think the closest one we've got here is 98. So you got 100 RON, 98, 95, 91 AC and 91. I don't know what that is. But we're going to go with 98 because the best I can get here is 99. So I'm going to click on 98 RON and click on yeah. Continue to custom options. Now here is all of the custom options, and I find these really, really cool. So we're going to run through all these now. So first of all, catalytic converter delete. So if you've got a high flow downpipe, click on that one. Switchable maps, I'm not putting switchable maps on today because this is really embarrassing. I don't have cruise control, so I can't even add switchable maps. So yeah, we won't be putting that on today, but when I get cruise control fitted, I will be putting them on. Anti-lag, I'm not going to do that now, but I'm going to look at that in a future video. Maybe we'll sort of try it out and see what it's like. High pressure fuel pump upgraded. We have got an upgraded fuel pump, and we have got the B58 TU OEM one. But also, if you've got Dorsch Engineering Stage 1 or 2, you can also have that one, and also the Sport Performance one as well. So yeah, so far we've done all of that. Now down here we've got, is it an OPF or GPF car? Like, do you need to delete it out? No, mine isn't, so that's fine. Remove TCU torque limiter, we'll leave that. Cold start delete. Now this is something I want to remove, so I'm going to click on that and then click always. So speed limiter delete. So the VMAX, so this will remove the 155 mile an hour speed limit. I'm going to do it anyway, but whether or not I actually do that is another story. But yeah, click on that. You don't know, we might end up going to the Autobahn or something, I don't know. You don't know what's going to happen. Exhaust flap always open, not going to do that because I like to have no drone and have the valve shut when I can. Sports gauge, so this is pretty cool. You can change the units and what it says on the actual iDrive. Just going to leave all those standard. So burbles and crackles. This is what I've been running at the moment, these settings, in Style 2, 70% aggression, duration 1 second, and then in Sport Plus 0.6 seconds. And it's not too ASBO, and it's kind of like, it's a nice sound. But I do tend to find myself opening up this app and changing it a lot, just to find the perfect settings, so we can come back to that. But what I think is a cool feature is the RPM minimum. So say if you're cruising along in town, and you don't want your car just banging off and like burbling all the time, you can make it so it's pretty much dead silent under 2000 RPM and a maximum of 5500. So it will only burble and crack in those rev ranges. You can also choose a speed for it to stop, so say 120 kilometers an hour, it won't then burble, so you can stop that. Extra aggressive. Now this is for a flame map. I have actually tried this, but I think I'm going to do a whole separate video on this because I never really ended up getting it where I wanted to, so we need to play around with that and get it so it really does work properly. So yeah, we'll come back to that in the future. Cooling, so you can have like max cooling. Now this I know you can activate with a switchable map, so you can make it so it turns on the fans on full. So say if you're doing a track day and you're on your cool down lap, you could just make all the fans just go as quick as they can to get the engine to a nice cool temperature. And then here we've got Startup GTS Raw. So this is where your car is warm. It doesn't do it when it's cold, which is nice, but when it's cold, it just turns on like a normal car. But when it's warm, it kind of just goes like, "Rrr," and that's it. And it does sound quite cool, so we'll keep that in. And then here it says aftermarket. So here it says aftermarket LSD installed. We haven't got that. And then torque by gear, I'm going to leave. And then idle RPM, I'm going to leave as well. So I'm just going to go through and check all this. Cool. I'm now happy with that. And we're going to click continue. So here it says make sure your phone is on and in airplane mode. So let's do that now. Airplane mode. Plug the driver's seatbelt in. There you go. Connect the battery charger to a car charger. We'll be fine because I use my car all the time. I know there's a lot of charge in there. It's absolutely fine. And turn off your car in Wi-Fi hotspot if it has one. And other than that, let's click start flashing. So this will now go through all the processes. And the first time it does take, I'd say probably about 5 minutes for the first time. And it does start beeping at you, so that's completely normal. It says like driving stabilization sort of failed and stuff like that. But yeah, because I've done this a few times, it won't take as long. But I mean, look how quick that is. It's rapid. But for your first time, it won't be that quick. Now, what I like about this is just how easy it is. Like, I'm in the middle of not nowhere, but you know, I'm not on my driveway. I'm not in like an industrial car park, and I'm able to map my car, which I think is absolutely incredible. And it will be even better when I've got the switchable maps. But for now, I've just got to plug it in each time. But it's not much deal, you know. It's not too much hassle. So it's now said, process completed. Please turn your ignition off, if not already off. Mine is already off. And every single time I've mapped it, or like changed the map and stuff, it's always turned off. So I don't think it will stay on. And wait 30 seconds before starting the engine. So we'll do that now. But while we wait for that 30 seconds, we can just come out of the app. So yeah, we'll go back to main menu. Go back here. And then boom, there we go. It says calibration stage 2.5 off the shelf v2.16, and that is up to date. So the car is now mapped to stage 2.5 and is all good to go. It's easy as that. How cool is that? And I know this has been around for a long time, but I've only just sort of got into the tuning side of things and even looked at tuning apps. So like if you ever go to a car meet and someone's like, "Oh, can you flame?" Like you could plug in your OBD port, switch the map, and then yeah, you got flames. But let's go ahead and exit the app. There we go. Unplug the cable. It has now been 30 seconds, so we can turn the car on. And there we go. We haven't got a cold start anymore, so that is perfect. So the car is now mapped, and one thing I can tell you straight away is like day-to-day drivability is the car just feels like stronger. Like it will stay in a higher gear for longer, and just day-to-day driving it feels a lot better. But anyway, let's put it into manual and Sport Plus. And let's go for a little hoon. These pops are not as Asbo as like the factory map, because that was just like, and that like it was just endless. But these are alright, and these I've had on for like a week or so, and I did have like sort of the flames before, and it was quite cool to just like have one bang. But yeah. Now the problem is I've come out on a day where it is pretty wet on the ground, so traction could be a problem. Hear it. That is loud. Now what's quite cool with the sort of switchable maps is I'm gonna have one when I actually do the switchable maps, I'm gonna have one map that's got no burbles, because I quite like that, to be fair. I do like when it's got no burbles, and it'd be very handy for when I go on track. Alright, let's see what it goes like in a straight line. This is not gonna grip at all. It definitely moves. seriously fast. I've taken out a few people since I've had it mapped, and their reactions have been absolutely priceless. As a driver, you don't sort of get the initial sort of like whoa, but as a passenger, I've been in the passenger of this car as well since it's been mapped, and it is an animal compared to stock. I'm not going to keep these like bangs on for too long because I do like it when it's just like subtle. I think that is where I'm going to wrap up today's video. I really do hope you enjoyed it. Finally, I have mapped my car. I'm still sort of playing around with what I want to do in the map and like sort of style burbles, whether or not I want bangs and sort of for how many seconds and all that sort of thing. I'm still playing around with it, but I'm sure I will keep you up to date as to what I'm doing and make a video again in the future, like trying out the flames and trying out the anti-lag and putting the switchable maps on as well. I think that's quite a cool video that we'll do in the future. Now do expect a POV drive very, very soon, because I think that is going to give you a proper idea of how this goes and fit and sort of sounds, and the overall experience a lot better than just a GoPro in the windscreen. So look forward to that in the very near future. But other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you want to go ahead and check out MG Flasher, the one that I've used today, go ahead and have a look in the description. I'll leave all links and stuff in the description down below. But other than that, I shall catch you guys very, very soon on a brand new YouTube video. Cheers, guys. You know, bus pulled out in front of me.